Baba.
Merry Christmas to you, to everybody who is on the who is along with me, and may Baba, who is our Christ incarnate, bless you abundantly during the Christmas time as well as during the coming year. So we begin with 3 times saying Jai Baba, Jai Baba,
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba,
Baba.
Jai Baba. So Ganesh, shall I start?
Yes, please. All yours. Yes, please.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So at the outset, my humble Jai Baba to all of you, dear ones, who are here in this event and who have joined in to listen to and to see through this your technological advancement, which Baba had been telling us for so many years that during the years to come, the technology will evolve to such an extent that I say you can't imagine. That's what he had told us during Savas time in the 1950s. So a very hearty Jai Baba to all of you. And today again we join in to remember our Lord, the Ancient One, Avatar Meher Baba, and share his glory with all of you, dear ones. Now, Ganesh, what would you like me to speak on?
Anything with your experiences, like something that your experiences with Baba. Like I know last time you had shared with the 1958 Savas and everything. So further to that.
Okay, fine. The you see, my experiences with Baba, there are many, but I shall share a few of them with you today. See, I was born in the Baba family. My father and mother, both of them were Baba lovers. So if you meet any Baba lover, what is the first question you ask? That when you have heard about Baba, or during Baba's lifetime, people would also ask the question, when did you first meet Baba? So if you ask me when did you first hear about Baba, or if those of my age, if they ask me when did you see Baba for the first time, see, it will be very difficult for me to answer this question. I do not know. Because as I said, I was born in the Baba family, and as a children, we used to go to Baba or to have his darshan. Maybe even before that, maybe even when I was in the womb of my mother, she would have gone to Baba's darshan because she came in Baba's contact way back in 1925, 24, 25. And as a matter of fact, when she got married in 1930, the marriage was approved by Baba. And not only that, Baba was present during the marriage ceremony in Ahmednagar in the year 1930. So subsequently, the children were born, and when I was born, I had one elder sister, and that her name was Nalini. So at that time, our family was staying in Solapur, and actually my mother had 6 issues, but only 2 of us survived. That means my elder sister Nalini and myself. Before Nalini, there was a boy who passed away during the childhood, and after me, there were a girl and a boy who also passed away in their childhood. So my mother had lost these children, and she would be very, very sad about losing these lovely children. And she would often ask Baba whenever she would meet. Now I'm talking about this period of 1930s and 1940s. And then she would ask Baba that, Baba, uh, why are you so cruel? Why have you taken away these sweet children from me? They were innocent souls and they were children. They're hardly few months old, and none of them survived beyond 4 months or 5 years or so. So one child, one boy, uh, uh, he was the first child, and then after I was born, there were one girl and one boy, and all these four children. She lost four children, so she would be very gloomy, and she would always remain withdrawn. And when Baba came to know about this, then during one of the meetings with Baba, Baba asked my mother, Gunatai, that why are you so much sad and why are you so much pensive and deeply absorbed in thoughts? Then my mother said to Baba that I had these children and they were lovely children and they were small children and they were given to me by you. And see, they passed away in early childhood. And I remember them and I remember uh, their tender bodies. And I am, I think that Baba, you are very cruel. Why have you taken away these children from me? They were innocent souls. Then when Baba heard all these things, and when Baba was being told about all these tragedies by my mother, then Baba said to my mother that, Gunatai, why are you worrying? Why are you lamenting? Why are you in such a pain and sorrow? These children which you have had, and then which the children which you do not have with you now, because they have all passed away. They were very near to me. They were very dear to me. And do you think they were your children in reality? And my mother was surprised, and she looked at Baba and asked, "Please tell me, Baba, who were they?" Then Baba told my mother that they were my devoted souls, and in their previous incarnation, they were my devotees, and they were very my close devotees and very dear devotees, and they had a certain lifespan, and those devotees they expired accidentally. They met with accident. Some of them died by drowning, or some of them was burnt accidentally by fire, or some of them met with an accident. And in that manner, they died prematurely. So each one of them had a certain span of life. And that span of life was cut short by a certain months. So according to the law of karma, the soul has to live that particular exact span of life as assigned by the karma. And these they were short by 4 months or 5 months or 6 months or so. And the souls were in a state of suspended animation. And the souls who were my dear ones and my devotees, they were contacting me, and they were praying me that you let us, Baba, please, Baba, let us complete our lifespan, because they had only few months left. And then I began to think that according to the law of karma, which even as a God, I cannot break that law, though the law of karma has been made by me. So even I have to follow the law of karma. So each soul has to follow the law of karma. And according to the law of karma, each soul had a span of about few months each. And they were contacting me. They were requesting me to give them birth again so that they should complete their lifespan and then come to me eternally. And then I began to think, where shall I send these souls? In which family shall I send these souls? And then I told myself that let me send them. There cannot be a better family than Gadekar family to send these souls to. And accordingly, I sent these souls in your family. And when these souls were born, they were lovely children. But they had only span a few months of life left to complete the law of karma. And then after the law of karma was completed, after the lifespan of few months was completed, it was time for time for those souls to come and merge with me. Therefore, they had to die. So therefore, Gunathai, do not lament the loss of your children. Do not lament the loss of your daughters or your sons. She lost 2 daughters and 2 sons, 4 children she lost. They were my souls. They were connected to me in their previous incarnation, and they had to come back to complete the cycle of reincarnation. And after completing that span of life, they have returned to me and they have merged with me forever. And when my mother heard this explanation, she was consoled. And then she stopped lamenting, and then she stopped blaming her, or she stopped blaming her misfortune. So that was the story which I wanted to share. And this story would be particularly appreciated by those of my sisters who had to undergo such traumatic experience that after giving birth to a child, losing that child in the childhood, it's a great traumatic experience. So this is the most comforting way in which Baba consoled my mother. And thereafter, she stopped worrying, she stopped lamenting, she stopped crying and weeping, and she stopped brooding about all these tragedies. And then she was her own self, and then she started loving Baba cheerfully. And again, she returned to her joyous and cheerful self. So this is what I wanted to share with particularly my sisters and my mothers who have had to undergo such traumatic experience. Now, there are so many stories of Baba, which I wanted to share. The story of my father, as a matter of fact, it's a long story, but I will just share with you some of the important events in the life of my father that transformed. Remember, my father was termed as Bhakta Shiromani, the crown jewel amongst all the disciples. And as far as I recall, what happened after my father had expired, when he was seriously ill, as a matter of fact, Meher Baba visited our house and he stood in front of my father who was on the deathbed. And after meeting with my father, when he left the house, my mother rushed to see Baba through our bungalow till the gate. And then on the way, Baba told her that, Gunatai, do not worry, whatever has to happen will happen. And Gadekar is going to come to me too soon. So you let me know when that event happens. And with these words, because Baba was staying in Guru Prasad and he was to go to Bombay, so he proceeded to Bombay. And my father was serious, and that was the 9th of March. And he asked my father to repeat his name. And my father started repeating Baba's name. And he was repeating continuously, Baba, Baba, Baba. And he was suffering from this incurable disease of cancer. And that was one of the worst type of cancers, this cancer of lymph glands. cancer of lymph glands, lymphomia. Now the medicine has so advanced that cancer of lymph glands is curable. But at that time, that I'm talking about 1959, it was not curable. 58, 59. So in 58, he contracted the disease, and I used to go. He was required to go to, at that time, the only remedy, only treatment for cancer of lymph glands was to take a dose of X-rays, deep X-rays. So he was required to take the dose of deep X-rays. And I used to accompany him to the radiology department of this public hospital here, the Sassoon Hospital in Pune. And there they would treat him. And my sister, elder, they would burn the flesh. And you can see the burnt flesh on this, in the armpits or on the shoulder. And that was the only treatment available for that. So he suffered that pain also of deep X-rays. And Baba had asked him to repeat his name. So in spite of that excruciating pain, he repeated Baba's name non-stop, continuously. And 9th of March 1959, Baba visited our house. He went to the bedside of my father. My father was bedridden. He tried to get up, but Baba said, "No, please do not get up, Gadekar. You just stay there. You sleep there. You rest there, lying down, and I shall come and stand near your bed." So Baba went and stood near his bed while he was lying in the bed, suffering with cancer. And what did Baba say? Baba said, "Gadekar, today is the day of Mahashivratri, and Lord Shiva is standing before you. So take darshan of Lord Shiva, who is standing before you." And when my father heard these words, he became so emotional that he started weeping. And then Baba was with him for a few minutes. And thereafter, he asked all of us to leave the room. I was, of course, not here. I was studying in California. I had left only a couple of months ago, so I could not come during the last days of my father. I could not even attend his funeral, being the only son, but I could not do that. Only my mother and my elder sister, who was studying in medical college, the third year or so, they were there. Baba asked them to leave the room. And in that room, only Baba and my father were there for alone. Only two of them were there. And Baba stood near the bed of my father. He stood there for, I don't know, maybe a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, and thereafter he left the house. As he was leaving, my mother ran after him. And while going, Baba said to my mother, as he was getting out of the bungalow and out of the gate, he told my mother that Gadekar is going to come to me soon. Do not worry, but serve him and try to give him as much comfort as possible. But if whatever has to happen, if that happens, then you let me know, and then I shall tell you what's to be done. So my father said goodbye to Baba. Baba sat in the car, and the car drove away. And Baba went to Bombay from Pune. He had come from Guru Prasad. And my mother returned to the bedroom and continued to serve my father. As instructed by Baba, he was repeating Baba's name continuously, Baba, 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 day and night. And because of the disease of cancer of lymph glands, he was undergoing severe pain. And the doctor who was treating him has told him that, Gadekar Sahib, now you are undergoing so much pain, you are not having any sleep. So I shall give you sleeping pills. So these sleeping pills will reduce the pain, and as well as you will be able to get some rest. So please take these sleeping pills. Then my father told the doctor, doctor, please do not give me the sleeping pills. Because if you give me the sleeping pills, I will go to sleep and it will be a break in taking Baba's name continuously. So I do not want to take the sleeping pills. Please take them away. So sadly, the doctor left. And my father continued to repeat Baba's name. And he was repeating the Baba's name non-stop, 9th of March, 10th of March, 11th of March. And 11th of March after midnight, when 12th of March was dawning, so 10 minutes passed after 12 midnight on the 12th of March, my father dropped his body, repeating Baba's name on his lips. So Baba's name and his breath stopped at the same time. And at that time, only my sister and my mother, only two ladies were in the house. And as I said, I was away in California. So when this happened, then my mother telephoned to Baba and conveyed to him the news of dropping of body of my father. Baba said, do not worry, you do the final rites as per the Hindu religion, but one thing, you preserve his ashes. And then after you preserve the ashes, then you call me. Then I shall tell you what is to be done. So my mother and my sister, they were so heartbroken that they had no words to express their grief, and they were weeping and weeping. And in that condition, they performed the last rites of my father. He was taken to the cremation ground, and there he was cremated. And after he was cremated, the ashes were collected. And the ashes were collected by my mother. And she collected those ashes and brought them home. And she kept the ashes and the bones in a sandalwood box. And that sandalwood box, she kept the ashes of my father. She closed the box, and then she covered the box with the silk cloth, and he stitched the silk cloth all around the box. So it was a sealed box, a box sealed by cloth. And in that sealed box were the ashes of my father. And she kept that sealed box in the place where we keep Baba's photograph. In every Hindu house, you will find a Devalaya, you will find a mandir, you will find a temple of God. So in the house, in the temple of God, she kept that box of ashes, and she would pray to Baba every day, and she would pray to that box of ashes. And this happened in March, 12th of March, after 12th, 14th or so. There, after a few days, then my mother called Baba. Baba, as I said, he had already left Guru Prasad and he was in Bombay, and he was staying in the bungalow of Nariman Radhachandji. The name of the bungalow is Ashiana, and the bungalow is located in Beach Candy. So Baba was in Ashiana bungalow, and my mother called him from Pune and told him about the demise of my father and about collecting the ashes and about keeping the ashes safely. And then Baba said that, Gunatai, you have done good thing, keep the ashes safely. But now listen carefully to what I say. You bring the ashes to Mehrabad on this particular day. My father dropped the body on the 12th of March, and I think on 16th, she was asked to come to Mehrabad with the box of ashes. So on the 16th of March, with that box of ashes in the hand, she boarded the bus and went to Mehrabad. When she got down at the intersection of Harangaon, and from there she went to Mehrabad, and she went to the Mandali Hall with the box of ashes in the hand. And in the Mandali Hall, Baba was waiting for her. And Baba came out of the Mandali Hall, And as she was walking towards Baba with the box of ashes in the hand, Baba asked her to come near him, and Baba asked her to give the box of ashes to him. So my mother Gunatai handed over the box of ashes of my father to Baba in the veranda of the Mandali hall. And from there, along with all the Mandali members, Baba started walking. Baba came out of the Mandali hall and he started walking to the site of the graves of the Mandali. And he came to the grave site, and he came to the grave which was already dug there by Padri Kaka. Padri Kaka was given the responsibility of digging the grave for Gadekar, and he had dug the grave. And Baba came there along with the box of ashes, and he placed that box of ashes in the grave. And after putting that box of ashes, Baba placed some flowers on the box. And then Baba was there in the grave for some time, and then he came out. And then all the Mandali members were standing around Baba. Then Baba asked the Mandali members to go there into the grave and bow down to the box of ashes of Gadekar. And one by one, they went down and bowed down to the box of ashes of Gadekar. Adi Kaka was there, Vishnu Master was there, Padri Kaka was there, Kaka Bharia was there, and other members of the Mandali, Erech was there, and they all went and bowed down to the box. After they had bowed down, the Baba himself put a handful of soil on the box and then asked all the Mandali members to put handful of soils on the box. And my mother was also there. She was also asked to put the soil on the box, and afterward the grave was filled. And then that is the grave of my father. And that is the grave of my father, whom Baba had described as a Bhakta Shiromani. So this is one experience I wanted to share with you. And now I think there is almost time. So Ganesh, I will request Ganesh.
Yes, thank you, Gadekar Kaka. The time is not a boundary, so we don't have any limits. It's like as long as you wish to speak, so don't worry about the time. That's what I wish to say. And if you want to take questions, then I can say, okay, from all the participants who has a question can raise their hand and unmute themselves and ask, or if they want to say something. Not just question, or to share something or discuss something. So to the participants, anybody having anything to say? I think so. I'm just waiting. Anyone want to say anything? Any questions? Any thoughts? I think everybody's in a Christmas mood today, so yeah, Cassandra.
I would love to hear more stories. I would love to hear more stories.
More stories, yeah.
Yes.
Something funny.
More Baba stories.
So Gadekar uncle, there's a request for more stories.
Oh, yes. Now, you see, today being the Christmas day, it's a time of rejoicement, and Baba was himself the Christ incarnate, and we were so lucky that we have come in Baba's contact, who was Christ himself. I remember Baba, when he used to refer to his sufferings, particularly the sufferings which he had to undergo after the accidents, automobile accidents. As you all know, Baba suffered 2 automobile accidents. And in one accident, his left side was shattered, left hip was shattered. And in the other accident, his right hip was shattered. So it was so painful, even during the recovery time. And in spite of that pain, Baba used to walk and Baba used to participate, and Baba used to hold these darshan programs and service programs. And I still remember that in Guru Prasad, when we used to go to meet Baba, and Baba was just recovering from the Satara accident. And then Baba would be walking in the veranda of Guru Prasad, probably holding the hand of Eraj sometimes, or Francis Brabazon or Dr. William Donkin. They would hold Baba's hand, and then Baba would be walking in the veranda. And when we would go there, and we would bow down to Baba, and Baba would ask us to come near him, and then Baba would tell us, at least I remember he told me that Baba said that the sufferings of the whole world is concentrated on this spot. He, pointing to his hip, he said to me that the sufferings of the whole world is concentrated on this spot. So you can imagine the amount of sufferings he was undergoing. And for what purpose? It was not suffering for his own cause. It was suffering for all of us. He undertook upon himself the sufferings of all of us, and then he suffered himself. So only such type of sacrifice only God can do. Only God incarnate, God in human form, only he can do such a sacrifice for the sake of humanity. And this is one experience I wanted to share. There are so many other experiences, and this Baba's Darshan program in Pandharpur, or Baba Darshan program in Wadia Park in 1954, or the 3 incredible weeks, and so on and so forth. So as time comes, then I would share these memories with you. So it is time for question. Anybody is having any question?
Anybody, any question?
Got a card. Did Baba ever make you laugh?
Oh, did Baba ever make me laugh?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, that's
yes,
a question.
Baba, you know, Baba was a very humorous person. And he would not only laugh himself when some joke is being told, he would ask others also to laugh loudly along with the joke. So I remember in Guru Prasad, somebody was telling a joke, and then he could not tell the joke successfully. So he just said that he forgot. Now, Baba, I forgot what was the joke and all that. So that itself was a joke. So when this happened, then Baba started laughing and laughing. And then he pointed to all of us and, come on, why are you just sitting there? You also enjoy this. You also laugh along with me. So we all laughed along Baba. And Baba was laughing, and Baba was holding his stomach with his hand, and he was laughing. And that was one memory which I wanted to share. He he not only he himself laughed, but he also made others laugh. Because humor was one of his aspects of his divinity. Because it was the humor of the avatar, and the humor of the avatar was unique in the sense. It was unique by itself. And he himself had a very, very keen sense of humor. He himself had a very keen sense of humor. And you must have heard so many humorous stories of Baba, which displayed his keen sense of humor. So this is all I wanted to share with you, all dear ones. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you. Anybody, any question? So, Meher Chand Garu, anything you want to share?
Jai Meher Baba. Jai Meher Baba
Yes.
Kaka.
Jai Baba, Meher Chand Nuri.
Jai Meher Baba.
Nuri
you
the
say-
strong man. Nuri the strong man.
When did you visited Machilipatnam? Can you tell about your story to visit to Machilipatnam and meeting
Berkeley.
my uncle?
Berkeley?
No, Machilipatnam.
Machilipatnam.
Yeah.
Achha,
This is my uncle's
Machilipatnam.
house. Yeah.
Machilipatnam You see, I visited Machilipatnam as the instance of Baba.
Yeah.
Because when you know that I went to Berkeley for studies.
Yeah.
And when I went to the US, before going to the US, Baba had specifically asked me to visit Baba centers in the US and participate in their functions. So accordingly, I visited Baba centers all over the US. Baba centers in the East Coast, as well as Baba centers in the West Coast, and Baba centers in the central part of the US. And wherever I participated in Baba's meeting, there are small groups of people. Not the Baba meetings are not held as on a bigger scale as we do. There are small groups of people and different people, but they are all very dedicated. They are all very committed, and they are totally surrendered to Baba, and they have got deep understanding of Baba.
I think, Gadekar uncle, your screen is
Which Baba
frozen.
given to me, and which each center I would share Baba's glory.
Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful stories.
I interacted with the Berkeley group, and then the group in Washington, DC, and also the group in Texas, and also the group in Los Angeles. And they were so kind and loving to me, and they were full of love for Baba. And I am still in contact with all these people. And in them, I felt a strong presence of Baba, because they are having so much deep love for Baba. And I remember Baba saying to us who were in Guru Prasad around him, because there were some of us who would always be very anxious to be very near to Baba and to be around Baba all the time. So once Baba remarked that you people are here and you try to compete with each other, that who is going nearer to me, and so on and so forth, and always want to be near with me. But you do not know, you do not realize there are my Western lovers, and some of the Western lovers are closer to me than you are closer to me physically. These are Baba's words. Though you are physically nearer to me, but those people who in the West, they are more near to me than you people who are physically near to me. These are the words of Baba. So this also I wanted to share, because Baba was fully aware of the deep love and commitment of these lovers from the West.
Kaka, you know Sadasiv Patil and
Yes.
Ghani, you are very close to them. And most of
Yes.
the Baba lovers, they doesn't know about Sadasiv Patil. Can you just
Sadashiv
share stories about Sadasiv Patil and Vishnu Vishnu Master and Ghani, whatever your relationship and your experience?
Sadashiv Patil was a very close to Baba, and actually he was staying in Kasbapet, and during Baba's stay in Kasbapet in the early 20s, or before Baba started silence, Sadashiv Patil had come in Baba's contact, and Sadashiv Patil and my father, they were just like brothers. And to Sadashiv Patil, my father regarded as elder brother, because he elder in him. So, and he did not have any son. He had only daughters, and he would visit his daughters, and he would stay alone. But he would visit our house invariably, and whenever he would visit our house, my father and Sadashiv Patil would have a very close connection, and they would talk about Baba, and they would tell stories of Baba, and so on and so forth. Actually, Sadashiv Patil had come in Baba's contact very early, and he was very fortunate to be able to come in Baba's contact, and he had got so many memories of Baba. And not only that, he was also with Upasani. Sadashiv Patil. And Upasani asked Sadashiv Patil to go to Meher Baba and accept his discipleship. So as per the instructions of Upasani, Sadashiv Patil came to Meher Baba and remained his disciple throughout his life. So that was Sadashiv Patil.
Can you
Nuri
just
garu,
share about
Santosham?
Sadashiv Patil's daughter, Maina's story?
Oh,
And
Sadashiv
just-
Patil Baina story. See,
Yeah.
I don't recollect that story now. If you know, you please tell us.
No, I just said because I remember story when Maina and Mani was also close friends. And Baba
Yes.
once said to Mani, what do you want? Mani said, I want you, Baba. But Maina said, I want a family. Baba said, yes. And afterwards, she lost her husband. Then I don't know anything about Maina's later. And does the still Sadashiv Patil's family members, they come to Baba?
Oh, I do not know that.
Yeah.
I do not know that. But Sadashiv Patil used to visit our house because he was so close to my father. And with me, he was also having very close rapport. Because you see what happened, he was a life member of the local library here, Nagar Vachan Mandir. And I was also a member of that library. So in that context, we came closer to each other, Sadashiv Patil and myself. Yeah. And of course, being the Baba lover, he would visit our house. And Sadashiv Patil would sit in the shop of Kamble. One LR Kamble was there, Baba lover. And his shop is in the downtown Pune. And there he would sit. And then my father would also go and sit in that shop. And they would share Baba's experiences with each other in that shop of this Kamble.
How about
So
Gani Kaka and Gani
Oh, yes.
and Vishnu Master?
Dr. Gani was also close to my father because Dr. Gani, he was like my father, he was also a teacher in the school, I think. And when we settled in Pune, and Dr. Gani used to visit our house. We were staying in another locality in Pune at that time, not the present one. And Dr. Gani would visit our house. And my father would hold Baba's meetings every Thursday. And then during that meeting, there would be singing and there would be talks on Baba. So Dr. Gani would invariably attend these meetings. And whenever he would come, my father would request him to speak about Baba. And Dr. Gani would stand up. And he would be always dressed immaculately with a full suit and tie. And then he would begin to speak about Baba. And then he would tell stories about Baba and his experience of Baba. He was a scholar. Dr. Gani was a scholar, Urdu scholar. And he had written one book also in Urdu. The name of the book is Daure Kalandri. Daure Kalandri. And that is the, I think that is the translation of this Sobs and Throbs. So that is the experiences of the boys in Mastashram. So that book he had written.
Okay.
And that is Dr. Gani, till his death, my father was his friend. And I remember the death of Dr. Gani also. And I have attended his funeral. And then in his family, there is his wife was there and his son was there. And they were Baba lovers. His sisters were there. They were Baba lovers, but I do not know what happened to them later on.
Hey Baba Kaka,
Great.
thank
So
you.
probably we can have in more detail these things because I'm sure like each of the mandali, they had so much of these things, stories and everything. So thanks. And we have two more hands up. So yeah. So we have, Dr. Narendra Prasad. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So we have Dr. Narendra Prasad. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have a question regarding the location of the first ashram in that college, Ferguson College Road. Could you just throw light on that, whatever you know about the possible location?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I do not know the exact location of that place where Baba used to come and sit and pray and meditate. Of course, behind the Ferguson College, there are hills. And in some of the hills, there are some caves. And Baba may have gone and sit in one of the caves there, but I do not know the exact spot. Similarly, there is another temple in Pune. It is called the Pataleshwar temple. That temple is below the level of the ground, and there are caves in that temple also. So Baba would go and sit in the caves in the Pataleshwar temple. So that Pataleshwar temple and the caves you can see even today. And Ferguson College Hill also you can visit today and see. But the Pataleshwar caves are there still, but Ferguson College caves, I do not know the exact location.
Your father or Gani, they never report to these areas?
Pardon me?
Either your father or Gani or even Sadashiv Patil, did they refer to that at all, that place?
Oh, I see the reference to these, they might be talking within themselves, but I do not recollect that. But reference to these caves are there in Baba's biography.
No, you must be knowing the most recent publication of Bailey's diaries.
Bailey's, Bailey
Diary.
would also visit our house, and I do not know what happened to Bailey's diaries. And this.
No, I just, the Bombay Center has published a brief one at least. So
Bombay
that,
yes.
so he has described in a fairly graphical fashion. So the people who are familiar with Pune topography, they should be able to figure it out. Actually, I was set on that project, but the corona came in between.
That is true. That is true.
Because he has very graphically described the the activities of the Baba in the ashram, and how the dogs once tried to attack Bailey, and how he was saved, and there was a nala behind the ashram, and how the sweeper, one very rich lady.
Dr. Prasad.
Yeah.
I have already requested you to come to my place, and both of us can go on expedition.
Surely. Right.
I'll also be joining you all. So, because
we shall
I know
try,
Gadekar Kaka in 2014 we used to do the Pune places. I know that time we tried to find out when we did that Pune places thing. Like I was working with Dr. Gadekar uncle that time, but that time we couldn't get much.
We have come out with a very beautiful book. I think you must have read that book. Baba
Yeah, I read that. But Bailey's thing is much more, sort of very graphic in terms of the thing. So with a set of maps, the old maps, and with a set of our own exercises, the way Baba used to walk from that famous temple is there, no? That
Chaturshringi temple.
Chaturshringi temple to this thing and to his house. He used to walk. So, and the approximate time they would take and all that. So with that is kind of a cross-country kind of a thing. Track one can actually organize it, though of course a lot of buildings are there. And with some topographical things like drainage maps, which can possibly decipher.
Okay.
So
you can go on expedition.
My suspicion is that police grounds is the one locality.
This Survey of India topo sheet, you go on expedition.
Say, I think Dr. Prasad, the one opposite to police ground, that colony of is there, and with all the flats and behind the petrol pump, somewhere there it is. So with all that points to, it's somewhere there. So we have to just locate where that Nala and that river well is there. So probably somewhere there it is.
So it's a good exercise for the Pune Baba lovers to start with, I guess.
Yeah, we have done some part of it last time. So not much we could get out of it, but sure we can restart on that.
It'll
Yes.
be nice.
Yeah.
And I like the enthusiasm of our friend Digambarji, his enthusiasm to join in the expedition. I welcome that.
Okay, I shall
Yes.
try to, health permitting.
No, he has wealth of information. So that's how that book, that Pune Places book came. So
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
That is.
Jai Baba.
Hey
Jai
Baba,
Baba.
Jai Baba, welcome, welcome.
So we have one from Vijay, from Mr. Vijay. We have one. So his hand is up.
Jai Baba, Dr. Gadekar.
Jai Baba, Vijay ji.
How are you? Yeah.
ठीक है. Happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, same to you and everyone. Yeah. Actually, Narenji also discussed with me this question, and I tried to ask Pratapji also about this that Nala, and what Ganesh said that it is somewhat it's on the way to Chaturshungi and near police line Nala and petrol pump somewhere around that area. So it is to be explored. Yeah. And regarding Tanaji, I wanted to say that Baba said about, about Sadashi Patel that in his earlier birth, he was a Tanaji, and Sadashi Patel I'm referring to. And when Baba went to Baba's father, Tadi shop, he was the landlord, and Baba went search of him. And first time he went to his house, and he asked for food also, that if he wanted something to eat. And Baba said that this man has given his life for me while when Baba was in his minor incarnation as Shivaji. So that much I wanted to share.
I can share one more thing. Hello, can I share additionally? Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, please. You please share.
You see, once Baba remarked that when I was Shivaji, Gadekar was Sambhaji, my son. That was what Baba had remarked. Baba had said that Gadekar was Sambhaji, Shivaji's son, and who died a very painful death to uphold the principles of his father. And he died very painfully at the hands of Aurangzeb. So that is what Baba had remarked.
I think Gulmai was Jijabai and Adi was his wife.
Adi was Soirabai. Adi was wife of Shivaji. And Baba said,
was his mother.
Baba once said that for Adi there is no need to marry because he was already married to me in his previous incarnation.
Somebody as Afzal Khan, right? Somebody as Afzal Khan also.
Yes, I don't recollect who was that person.
Adi Kaka.
But about Adi, I remember very distinctly.
Yeah.
Time-wise, when was Shivaji, according to our time?
When was?
According to our time, when was Shivaji? It was before Baba came, but what time? How many thousand years ago? What?
So this was 1630. So that's like around 400, 1630, which is like around 400 years back, 390 years.
Yeah. I have heard
So-
that Baba's always in a minor incarnation. He's
Yes,
always, have you heard that?
yes, minor incarnation. Baba did
Yeah.
say Shivaji
Yes.
as minor incarnation.
But I mean, I heard that he was always in a minor incarnation rather than his major, like his Baba, Muhammad, Jesus, that he was always in minor incarnation. That I've heard that. I don't know.
Means Baba is major incarnation, right?
That is true.
Major, very, very
Minor,
major.
yes. Sometimes Baba would refer as minor incarnation. Sometimes Baba would refer to as veiled avatar.
Veiled.
Veiled avatar.
Yeah. So
Okay,
okay, yeah. There is one question, Gadekar uncle. So this is from Diana. She asking you, did you celebrate Christmas during the year when you were studying in California? During the year when you were studying in California, did you celebrate Christmas?
Yes, you see, when you are in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So it was Christmas time, and then we celebrated Baba's. We celebrated Christmas in Baba's company, thinking about Baba and talking about Baba. And this Baba group, there would be a group meeting of Baba lovers in San Francisco, and then I would attend that meeting, and we would have a very nice time. Lord Dimple was there and his entire family, and then Joseph Harb, and then that sailor was there, Herman Alvarado, and other Baba lovers. We would come, we would gather, and then we would sing Baba's songs, and I would sing Baba's bhajans, and then we would share Baba's memories, and we would have a nice time in the Christmas. And I hope you also are enjoying the Christmas there.
Yes, this is from Diana. So yeah.
In the West, are you enjoying Christmas now? Yes, and actually, this is Christmas is celebrated in honor of Christ. That is the birthday of Jesus Christ. So, in the same manner, many times I think that the birthday of Baba should be celebrated as Meher Mas, not Meher Mas, M-A-S, Meher Mas. That is Christmas. Meher Mas. Because that is a period of rejoicement.
Mm. Great.
So,
So beautiful. Thank you so much for this session. So much beautiful, some precious stories of and the profound time your family had with Baba. There's so much for us to learn through that experiences of your family. Thank you so much, and it was wonderful to have you here, especially on the Christmas evening, and share Baba. So thank you, Gadekar uncle. So everybody can mute themselves, and we will say 3 times Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. So Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki
Jai.
Thank you,
Jai.
Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
so much for taking the time.
Yes, lovely. Thank
Merry
you
Christmas to everyone in Baba's love.
Mas.
for the video, Merchan. It
Mas.
was
Jai
beautiful.
Meher Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you. Much love.